Happy Friday. Welcome to another Fridays 45. Thanks for all who tuned in last week and contributed to the conversation. The correct answer for the trivia is The Wedding Singer. That's the soundtrack that that Video Killed the Radio Star was on, and it was sung by the presidents of the United States of America. Today we're going to move on to a song that every time I hear it, it kind of mystifies me. It takes me back. I love the beginning of it, the guitar part. There are a lot of covers of it, and people just really seem to nail this when they cover it. And some believe it kicked in the hippie era. And the song we're going to talk about is "California Dreamin" by the Mamas and the Papas. It was put out by Dunhill Records, and the story goes that back in 1963, John and Michelle Phillips were living in New York City and kind of longing for home, and the lyrics kind of grew out of their experiences living there. And some believe that the St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City helped inspire the church verse. But anyways, they were part of the Journeymen when they wrote this, but they kind of went into the Mamas and the Papas, and they became friends with, of course, other people, folk singers of the day. And one of those was Barry McGuire. And Barry McGuire was recording out west, and he asked him, come and sing back up on some of my songs. And so they're in the studio, and Lou Adler hears them, and he likes their backup for Barry McGuire's version of California Dreaming. So Barry sings his, and if you've ever heard his version, he almost sounds like John Wayne singing it. And he's best known for the protest song Eve of Destruction, but his John Wayne version of this, just to me, it doesn't cut it. It's one of the few versions I'm just not crazy about. Where the flute is on the Mamas and the Papas version, he uses a harmonica. It's just a different feel. But Lou Adler has the Mamas and the Papas. He wants Denny Doherty to sing leads after, they're done recording Barry. So he does the leads, and, Lou loves it, thinks he takes out the entire voice of Barry to put Denny's voice. And they kept the instrumental, which was done by the Wrecking Crew. P.F. Sloan was there, and a lot of the other Wrecking Crew helped contribute to the instrumental. So he keeps the instrumental, he keeps the background, puts Denny's voice, but he left just a little bit of Barry's voice at the very beginning. Some believe if you're listening in your left ear, that you'll hear Barry's voice because it never got taken out all the way. So the Wrecking Crew was part of this, which is really cool. And John, apparently that there's an empty part of that song where the flute is, and apparently the story is John went out into the hallway of the studios and he found Bud Shank standing there. He's like, hey, can you come in? And apparently Bud Shank just improvised this whole flute part, which I love. It was one take from what they say. So a great song, takes me back. Really enjoy this song, but I also enjoy some other versions. And there are some other versions. One of them, we've already talked about this guy, Bobby Womack. He did a version in 1968, and it reached number 43. So did Jose Feliciano. He did a version that in the same year, 1968, that reached number 43. So this is Bobby's version. And the group America in 1979, they did their version of California Dreaming as well, and theirs reached number 56. And believe it or not, the Beach Boys reached number 57 in 1986 doing a cover version. There is one version that I don't have a 45 of that I think everyone should know about, and it's got by a guy named Lee Moses. And Lee Moses is a deep soul singer. He's from Atlanta. He actually did some studio recording with Jimi Hendrix in New York in the 60s. This guy put out one album, and it's Time and Place. It's a great album. If you look it up on YouTube, you can find it. But he does a killer version of California Dreaming. Look this up because it's very soulful. And another version of his that I love on this album is Hey Joe. Hey Joe is brilliant. So just so many great versions of this song. Takes you back to that era. My question this week is, what movie is this song, is the Mamas and the Papas version in? It was a movie I believe was made in the 90s, very popular. There's a scene in Vietnam, soldiers writing a letter home. What movie would you have found this song in? Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend. Be safe, and I'll see you on the flip side.